Hello, my friends. I haven't been on this blog for a while. I've been traveling. I was in Australia, India, and all over the place. And so I'm posting again to talk about something that's affecting all of us, this great economic crisis all over the world. And I've done other blogs trying to understand and share with you my ideas about the difference between wealth and money. Wealth is a state of consciousness, and money is the symbol of that state of consciousness. Also, money is a symbol of the dominant activity in which we engage in a state of consciousness. So, if the dominant activity is hunting, gathering, war, conflict, then wealth is weapons, and the weapons industry does extremely well. A large part of our economy comes from that state of consciousness. The United States and many Western European countries are the largest purveyors of weapons that kill people, kill enemies, so called perceived enemies, but they also kill friends. We call that collateral damage. If the dominant activity of humankind is agriculture, then of course wealth is measured by things that come from the soil and animal husbandry. If you read the hymns of the Rig Veda or the Bible, then wealth is horses, donkeys, cows, grain, etc. Moses and the time of old Moses, Jacob, and all those stories from the Old Testament are about famine and affluence that comes when famine goes away. If the dominant activity is making machines, then of course in the industrial age, the source of wealth becomes machines, it becomes oil, it becomes natural resources like steel and other minerals that we need to make machines. As we move from the industrial age to a predominantly information-based society and culture, then wealth is a microchip. A microchip is nothing but a piece of dust with information in it. And I would suggest that we're moving from an information-based culture to a knowledge-based culture, where education becomes a source of wealth, and our ability to give knowledge to people throughout the world, as say Harvard University and many other American universities are doing. They're establishing campuses all over the world. There's internet learning, etc. So that becomes the source of wealth. And as we move into a wisdom-based culture, then of course wisdom, in my view, is that knowledge which nurtures the ecosystem, the larger web of being, the web of life. Then wealth comes from wisdom-based economies. This red shirt I'm wearing is a biodegradable shirt from New Zealand. You can bury it, and you can even use it as fertilizer after you're done with it. Wealth will also come from alternative energy sources. Wealth will come from the wind, it will come from the sea, it will come from the sun. And sustainable economies, or should say sustainable businesses, sustainable agriculture, urban transportation, which is based on non-oil technologies, and many, many other things. I was recently in New Zealand, and somebody showed me a window pane that senses the movement of the breeze and converts it into electricity. Somebody else showed me a little instrument in New York, where I am at the moment, where flashlights turn on using the bioenergy of our bodies. Imagine lighting up all of New York City with the bioenergy of all the human beings that live in that city, over 18 million of them. So human creativity has no boundaries, no limits. The internet came into existence in 1996, which means only 12 years ago, and look where we are. Now we can use this internet to create wisdom-based economies. Even more important, I think our state of consciousness determines our state of well-being overall, but at this moment I'm talking about economic well-being. So as I travel, I ask people what's their reaction to what's happening, and a lot of people are, prophets of doom. They say we are finished. At the same time, meet a lot of people who say this is the time of greatest opportunity and greatest creativity. This is what I've been doing with some of my friends, and it's actually quite remarkable how astonished they are when they go through this exercise. I ask them to close their eyes and meditate for a little bit by watching their breath or just repeating a phrase like I am, I am, over and over again. Then I ask them to put their attention in their heart, and then I ask them to ask themselves, what do I want? And reflect on that. So after a few minutes of meditation and reflection, they may come up with, and I'll ask them to draw a circle, and from that circle have 5 arrows in 5 different directions, like a brain map, for example, and write down 5 things that come to their mind when they ask themselves, what do I want? So the 5 things could be something like peace, harmony, laughter, love, abundance, and affluence. Then I take each of those ideas and ask them to write down 3 action steps that may come from those ideas. So, love may be go to a nursing home and volunteer, um, play with my grandchildren, spend more quality time with my wife or spouse or whatever. Like that, with each of those ideas, peace, harmony, laughter, love, and abundance, I ask them to take 3 action steps. And then they draw a mind map and they look at this and they're astonished that they have so many choices for creative opportunity. And then I ask them to look at their mind map and actually meditate with that in mind. Not that they have to think about the mind map when they're meditating, but look at the mind map, let it seep into their consciousness, and then go into the silence of meditation, where there are infinite possibilities, where there's non-local correlation, where there is the proliferation of uncertainty, where there is quantum creativity, and where there is observer effect. And suddenly they start to have aha experiences, insights into what they can do to create peace, harmony, laughter, love, and affluence, abundance in their lives. So I would recommend that you try this process. There's a lot being said about money and the law of attraction, and I have found that many people, even in this time of crisis, are actually creating a state of wealth consciousness which will translate into the symbol that we call money. Ultimately, our state of consciousness that goes beyond our personal self into our transpersonal self, where we see the other in ourself and ourself in the other, is the only way to create permanent wealth consciousness. Permanent wealth consciousness will come as we move from personal self to transpersonal self and ultimately to universal self. And I don't think these are abstract ideas. I think these are very concrete things. So as a summary, ask yourself what we can do as a collective transpersonal being to move into the transpersonal self and create a state of wealth consciousness based on wisdom-based economies. And then also go into meditation, asking yourself, what can I do? What action steps can I do to create peace, harmony, laughter, love, and abundance in my life? Those are some ideas I wanted to share with you, and I'm in New York and traveling once again, going to various places, Scranton, Pennsylvania, Hartford, Connecticut to do a PBS show, and then to Mexico, and then back to California. But my transpersonal self sends you peace, harmony, laughter, love, abundance, and affluence. Take care.